So, what's up guys? It's Dr. Ray here, coming at you with another video. And today we're going to talk about how do you actually find alpha early? And where's the best places that you can actually find it? Because that's the most important thing in this market. How do you find things early on? Where do you go? How do you give yourself that edge? But listen, guys, before we get into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And remember, follow me on Twitter, because if you really want to know where all the alpha is, it's going to be on my Twitter. Alright, let's get into it, guys. Okay, so all kidding aside, Twitter actually is one of the best places for you to find alpha, and the reason for that is crypto is rarely Twitter focused. So you're going to be able to see projects always having a presence on Twitter. You're going to see a lot of other crypto Twitter influencers or researchers following other projects on Twitter and posting their thoughts on Twitter. So Twitter is really, I would say, if there's one place to go, that's the place to be for finding alpha. But how do you actually use Twitter? Okay, how do you actually find those projects? So if you're just starting off, the easiest way is get involved in the Twitter ecosystem, start to follow people, start to read their posts, get a sense of who they are, get a sense of what they're good at. Then, once you've figured out who the smart people are on Twitter, what you want to do is start looking at who they're following. Most of the time, people on Twitter are going to, if they're good at finding alpha, they're going to follow those projects. Now, some smart alpha hunters, though, won't use their main accounts. They will use an alt account for their researching, but for the most part, you don't have to worry about that. Most people who are looking for projects, hunting projects, they're really just comfortable using their main account. So a good tip, follow me on Twitter and then look at the projects that I'm following, because if I come across something that I like and they have a Twitter account, I'm going to follow them, right? So that's an easy tip. You just come on Twitter, hop on here, hit the follow button, and then just check out who I'm following, right? If you check out who I'm following, you'll be able to see. Now, that doesn't mean everything that I follow, every person I follow, every project I follow is good, but you can kind of get a sense of what projects may be good simply by going through what someone like me is following and then, checking the project out yourself. So the second tool, and some people would argue is a good tool and some would argue is a terrible tool, is Telegram. Now, I think in certain communities, specifically the NFT community, they have a lot of hatred for Telegram. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. Telegram is an amazing place for information if you know where to look. And the best way to get into Telegram is simply just go to projects, you find their Twitter, and then hop in their Telegram. And from there, just talk to people in the project, figure out what's going on, and get a sense of the project itself. Okay, if the project doesn't have a Telegram, well, then you hop on to their Discord. Okay, so Telegram and Discord are the primary social networks outside of Twitter where you're going to be able to find alpha. Now, I personally don't think that there's a lot of good alpha groups that are widely available in Telegram and Discord. Most of the good alpha groups are going to be closed, and that's why I'm saying if you're just starting off, Twitter is a good place to go because you're going to have easy access to information. There's no groups on Twitter. There's groups that'll form from Twitter or groups that'll form in Telegram and Discord, but that's where it gets trickier. If you go into a lot of the public groups in Telegram and Discord, you're going to get led astray. Okay, but that brings me to my next point, which is alpha groups. So the other place you can go for high quality alpha in this industry are paid alpha groups, and there's a lot out there. Specifically in the world of NFTs, there's probably 10 to 20 groups, right? A lot of them are English speaking, some are Chinese focused, there's some in other languages and cultures, but primarily what you want to do is gravitate towards a paid alpha group at some point, because that's at least where you're going to be able to find some high quality alpha. Now, the nice thing about these is if you join a group and you don't like it, you can always resell the pass, maybe for a minimal loss, maybe for a gain even, right? The two that I'm going to mention today, the first one is Origins NFT, definitely one of the more premier groups. They provide a lot of high quality data, their charts and graphs are amazing, the chat groups are awesome, you get whitelist access. It's just a good place to find some high quality alpha. The other group I'm going to talk about also in this video is Metaverse HQ. It was definitely one of the earlier NFT based alpha groups that I joined. Again, the quality of information shared in there is high. It's just a great community. It's a place where you can really talk with people, exchange ideas, get information, and share alpha. Now, that doesn't mean these are the only alpha groups out there. There's a ton of other ones. To be honest with you, I'm in about 10 to 20 different groups. But at the end of the day, you're getting similar information in all these groups. It's all about just finding a group that you can fit in with, a group that you can feel a good community spirit, and a place where you can feel comfortable sharing alpha and also learning. Now, and that brings me back to my final point, which is, how do you find alpha? Well, to be honest with you, the best way to find alpha is to have the alpha come to you. Now, how do you do that? Well, you get out in Twitter, you get out in the community, you meet people, you talk, you exchange ideas, and then ultimately you create your own clique, you create your own group, right? And that's where the alpha is. That's where the alpha hunting is. You find people who have similar goals, similar interests, similar skills, and you get together and you share alpha. That's the best way to do it. There's a whole bunch of other technical ways you can do it. You can build bots that scrape Telegram, bots that scrape Twitter, joining the paid alpha groups, just, scraping Twitter yourself manually. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want alpha, you have to earn it. And you earn it by knowing people and providing value and being a community member of the crypto ecosystem itself. That's where the best alpha comes from, when the alpha just comes to you naturally because you provide value to other people, and so people value you and people are willing to share their alpha with you. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it provides you some insight and some help. I know the markets are picking up today, which is a great sign. We've seen some upward action on Bitcoin and a bunch of the other alts. So I think, the market is showing strength. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but I think the reality is, Bitcoin's still around. Everything that's been thrown at it in the past few months, including almost a world war breaking out, and we're still holding strong in the price. That's a great sign to me. So at the end of the day, like I said in my last video, the best gains are made by those who stick around during a bear market, develop that bear market stamina, research, learn new skills, figure out how to find alpha. That's what's going to help you survive. When the bull market hits, that's when you're going to cash in on those gains. And when everyone else is foaming in at the top, well, that's their problem, not yours. So again, guys, I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want the best of the best alpha, follow me on Twitter. I have some amazing and exciting things coming up for this next year, where I'm going to be sharing some alpha myself, through the form of releasing my Notion document, which has a lot of my alpha that I do. So a lot of my alpha research I'm going to publicize so you guys can see. I'm thinking of dropping a newsletter where we're going to have alpha drops coming out every day, and I'm working with some guys on forming our own alpha group. So stay tuned, guys.